What's up? This is Jerome Marshall from the Hack Forums. I'm just going to make a quick video here. I got to make it quick to fit on YouTube. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to have to deal with what I got. Anyways, there's a program called Shockrypter in the Hack Forums. Basically what it's doing is once you crypt your file, the author of the program has attached his own backdoor to your crypted files. So Shockrypter, when you open it up right here, this doesn't have any viruses in it. What actually has the viruses is the files that get crypted. It binds itself. Now, after a while, I did a lot of testing. I figured out where he's from, where his virus is trying to respond to. This is the IP that his server, that he calls it SVC host. It's not the actual SVC host. It installs itself into the app data local temp folder under SVC host. Now, that's not the real one because the real one's in the Windows folder. Now, I did some used Wireshark to trace the packets that file was sending, and it sends it to 92242144410. That's located in New Delhi. So it's I believe India, yeah, India. And the author of this program happens to be from India, so it's not much of a clue as to who this guy is and what he's trying to do. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys real quick how it works. If you look really quickly, here's a PM I sent to him. I said, send me the source of the stub so you can prove that you're for real. And he basically told me, if you say anything, I will see that you get fucked on HF. He doesn't know I'm 27 years old. I work for a network security consulting firm. I've been doing it for 6 years. I really don't care about my internet reputation. Just trying to help you guys not get scammed here, okay? Anyways, so we got Shockrypter. This is the folder that it comes in. It comes with a bonus stub. This is my testing server. The stub is called Shock Service. This Hack Forms thing is my test that I was doing before. This is a Dark Comet crypted server. And we're going to do it for you right now live, show you guys how it works. So anyways, I'm going to open up Dark Comet. So we're going to make a blank server right here. There's nothing binded to it, okay? It really is a blank server. Look. Okay, there's nothing friggin' going on here. Just a blank server. I'm going to go build server. I'm going to put it in this folder, Shockrypter, under the bonus stub here. I'm going to call it Hack Forms. Okay, save. Nothing more to be done. Finished. Got a Hack Forms server right here. I'm going to go open into... this is Komodo. This is just asking permission to open up this window, so I'm going to give it to that. I'm going to choose the Hack Forms, obviously. And now it has two options here. It has custom and default stub. Default just means that it has a built-in stub in a resource located in its assembly. Or you can use the custom. Now, he gives custom stubs. Here's the one that he gave out. One of them is called Shock Service 1. It doesn't matter what stub you use. If you want to use default, if you want to use custom, you guys can test it on your own. You're going to see that it all does the same thing. It all binds a server. So really, the only point of me making this video is just to show you guys how to do it. But you can test it on your own. You're going to see the same results. He has a binded server in it, so I don't really need to prove anything. But I'm going to choose his Shock Service 1. Open it up in the stub. There, custom. I'm going to generate a key. I'm going to go protect virus. I have a startup here, Google Update. I put that in myself just so you guys know that when my Komodo antivirus here shows you guys that it's trying to install itself in an SVC host, you know that wasn't my startup. My startup was Google Update. Anyways, go to Protect Virus, going to name it Hack Forms Crypted or Crypted, whatever. Save. It says File Crypted. Now we got it right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up in Komodo's Sandbox. This is not for viruses. Komodo's Sandbox is terrible. Anything can get around it. The only reason you'd use it is just so I can show you in Komodo Antivirus here, under my defense that's up right now, it's going to show you guys where he's installing. Look, I already did a little bit of it, and it shows anything that's going on your computer and anything that looks suspicious. So you'll see what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to open it up in the Komodo Sandbox, run in Sandbox. We got a con host trying to activate Internet Explorer here. I'm going to block that first one. Now, what hasn't come up here, but what's going on is we're going to open up the defense. Now, we can see the time at the very end here. So let me make this window smaller so we can all see it here. You see the time, the date when it was activated. So we're at 1:51 a.m. and these are all the ones that just happened in the last few seconds that it blocked. Okay, so this is what Komodo blocked. So as soon as I opened the file, the first thing that came up was the con host trying to activate Internet Explorer. That's a command prompt API for Windows. I'm not sure what his function is there. Probably to maybe steal Internet Explorer passwords, or maybe it's to inject itself in Internet Explorer. I'm not sure what the first one is. But then you see the second one. We got, this is my computer right here, the app data folder, local temp SVC host. That's his file right here. That's the binded file. Now, it didn't actually install itself into my computer because I blocked it, okay? So he didn't get a chance to do it. When I did it on my VMware and I did the packet tracing, that's the one where I found out that it was going to India. Once this does install to your file, what it does is SVC host will install into the temp folder, and then it will inject itself into the actual SVC host that comes with Windows. And after that, it tries to connect back to his servers. I'm not sure what rat he's using. I didn't take the time to try to figure it out. Probably something like Dark Comet or something like that. You guys can do the packet tracing and find out what rat he's using. Now, the final thing I'm going to show you guys, so now that we've proved that it installs itself in an SVC host, which you noticed in Dark Comet, I never set up anything to start up an SVC host, and I never put anything in here to start up, in the Shockrypter to start up SVC host. That's a second file. What I'm going to show you guys, here's another little bit of proof. We're going to actually go to my app data folder. There's one thing it does install. When you're crypting, it splits the two binded files that it needs, his rat and your rat, and it actually puts it, he's a really bad programmer, it actually puts it in your temp folder for a little bit. And we're going to take a look at that right now. Where is it? Okay. At the very bottom here, we got it. Okay, it's the 1901, same date, same going on. When I did the testing, this is what it is. Here's the shock service function 1. Okay. Now, the shock service is the actual run P. Okay, that's the legit run P to get your virus, your rat to work, your Trojan. The function 1, this code right here, this code is his binded rat. So whatever his rat is, this is the output of it, function 1. It's probably a very simple and compact rat. Maybe it's not Dark Comet, but it's probably his own programmed thing. But if you go and you take the time and you know, if you guys are computer programmers and you're good with the .NET framework, you can go in here and you can actually extract the information out of here and try to figure out what he's using. We see here that he calls it the function 1 DIL. The dynamic link library, and then you know, that's a resource in his net framework. But anyways, you can look through that and you can see there's a lot of evidence in there and how it installs an SVC host, and you know, he has some of his strings undecrypted, because these files right here is what the crypter makes before it makes the total file. So it makes these two files right here, and then it combines them and makes the executable for what we got right here, the actual crypted version. So these are like not even really crypted. You can go through these and actually just decompile them and look at them. The final thing I'm going to show you guys is, where is it? We got the portable Explorer Dissembler here, the PE. Now, if you look at the top here, it says Shock Service 1 cleaned. I deobfuscated one of his, well, this one right here. I deobfuscated it. So I can look at the code a little bit better. So that's why it says cleaned at the end. That means that I put it through dfordot and I removed some obfuscation of it. Anyways, what I wanted to show you, you guys might not understand this, but some people will. In this file, this shows you basically what's going on in the run P of what he's using. At the very top, this is when it loads. So if we go to MS Core, this is where the file loads, and it says, okay, we're going to need MS Core DIL, and that's, you know, a Visual Basic or a Net Framework dependency. So it says, okay, we're going to need this. Then what it does is, this, when it goes to the next point, this is called the jump, the MS Core down here, the jump point. At the jump point, this is where he installs his own server. Okay, that jump point, this is where the server installs, and then we got the entry point down here. The entry point down here is where he attaches your file to the end. Okay, so your entry point comes here, but before that, if anyone's familiar with programming, you're going to know that he's not going to call it twice and do the jump here for just one file. If he's only crypting one file, which is your server, he's not going to have two of these and do the jump for it. It's just going to go MS core dill, and it's going to go straight to the entry point, like what normal clean stubs are. Okay, so a normal clean stub would never have anything binded into it. So he set it up here, so that he can install his own server into your things. What else can I show to kind of prove it? We have the CFF Explorer here, okay? And this shows the resources. Resources are basically their assemblies or executables that have already been made. Okay, they've already been compiled and turned into .exe, and then the programmer uses those and actually installs it or binds it into the another file, but uses it as a resource. Okay, and this is what you do in a .NET framework. And these are his resources, okay, for the stub. This is his stub open, shock service 1 cleaned, okay. He has two resources. The only one you need to look at is the shock service resource. The other one's just fake junk code for his whatever. Now this is really important, okay, because this will also prove there's two files within his stub, okay. At the top here, when you see the this little shit up at the top, basically what that is that's the DOS header. They're in every single executable. Anytime there's an executable in a file, it will have a DOS header. It has to. It's just the way that the system's been working since the beginning of time. Okay, so there's a DOS header for every program. You can tell when a file is binded if you open it up in hex editor and there's multiple DOS headers into it, because that means there's multiple files into it. Okay, so we see one DOS header here. This program cannot be run in DOS mode, blah, blah, blah. That's a standard. Now we're going to scroll down. There's a lot of crypted code here, blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, so we see another header right here, okay, and then it goes into another file, and it's got more crypted things here, going down, going down. Now we see his resource calling. The function 1 DLL, which I told you was the one, that's his server that's binded, okay. Scroll down, scroll down. And this is more of his binded server, and it tries to name itself. Do you see here it says copyright Microsoft function blah 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 function 1. What he's doing here is he's setting all of the assembly attributes for his file, and you'll notice that the assembly attributes, when he names it Microsoft blah 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 blah, but it says copyright N30, which isn't his name on hack forums. When he does all that, I mean, the actual shock service, if you go to it, oops, sorry, not delete. If you actually go to the shock service stub, this is his stub, it has totally different information here. It says the product name is this, blah, 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 blah. But then you notice there's another assembly inside of the actual file that's setting itself as copyright Microsoft, copyright N30. That's his binded server in there. Anyways, you guys can check it out on your own. It's really easy to prove. Open it up in a sandbox. You can go to the website right here. Show you guys real quickly. Anubis Ice Labs right here. You can upload a file to this website, and it will show you what processes it's trying to run, or you can just open it up on your own computer in a VMware. But please, please, please have your firewall open. It will try to connect, and it did try to bypass Komodo. I had to set up the defenses manually. I had to put it in manually that do not let this file install itself to anywhere, because if I didn't, it would have bypassed the sandbox completely. So be careful how you do it. I suggest you use VMware and not a sandbox, but if you want to do it, that's okay. It has its own server in it. All right, guys, so stay safe. Fucking don't download any things off creeps that say it's for free, okay? This guy's making you download it from share cache, plus, so you have to pay for the share cache or the file ice, and then you have to find out that it has a server attached to it. So don't let them steal your slaves, and that's the end of it. See you guys later.